Making the perfect crochet bottom can be hard, but I promise you with this tutorial you'll be able to customize your own crochet bikini bottom in no time. Before we begin, and if you're new to my channel, hey there, my name is Shaz and I'll be sharing with you all my fun and free crochet patterns and tutorials. And don't forget to click that subscribe button if you don't want to miss an update. Now let's get right into it. For today's tutorial, I am making the Desert Crochet Bikini Bottom that has a cheeky cut. I'll be sharing with you how you can easily customize the back in any style you like, so stay tuned. For any crochet swimwear, it is always best to use a stretchy yarn. So here, I'm using the Cascade Fixation yarn in the color Ecru. We'll also need a 2.5mm crochet hook, some stitch markers, a tape measure, some elastic bands, and a pair of scissors. To start off, we'll be working on the front side first. So let's work up our slip knot and make 40 chains. I'm making a size small, but you can get all the other sizes available in the link below. Once you've completed your chains, you'll chain once more to start the next row. Now from the second chain from your hook, we'll work a half double crochet. So you'll yarn over, insert your hook, drop a loop, yarn over, and pull through all loops. You'll continue to work half double crochet stitches into each chain all the way across. For the next row, you'll chain one and turn your work, and we'll be repeating what we did on the previous row for another 5 more rows. So you should have a total of 6 half double crochet rows in total. Once you've completed all 6 rows, for the next row, we'll be working decreases. So we'll chain one, we'll turn our work, and we'll work a half double crochet 2 together into that first and second stitch. Now let's work another set of decrease half double crochet 2 together into the next 2 stitches. Now we'll work 1 half double crochet stitch all the way across until you've reached the 5th last stitch. Once you've reached the 5th last stitch, we'll work 2 sets of half double crochet 2 together to finish up the row. Now we'll chain one, we'll turn our work, and we'll repeat this row for 3 more rows. So you should have 4 decrease rows in total. Once you've completed all your double decrease rows, we'll continue on decreasing, but only working single decreases this time. So you'll chain one, you'll turn your work, you'll work 1 set of half double crochet 2 together stitches, and then you'll work 1 half double crochet stitch all the way across until you've reached the 3rd last stitch. Once you've reached that 3rd last stitch, you'll close up the row with another set of half double crochet 2 together. Chain one, you'll turn your work, and you'll repeat this last row for 5 more rows. You should have 12 stitches remaining, and I'll meet you back here once we're done. This is basically the front panel of the bikini bottom completed. Now we'll be working on the crotch piece. So from here, we'll be working half double crochet stitches into each stitch evenly all the way across. Once you've completed your first row, you'll chain one, and we'll repeat this for a total of 26 rows, or until you've reached about 10.5 inches or 27 centimeters in total length. Once you've completed all your rows, it should look something like this. Here, I've placed a stitch marker in the middle of the crotch length to mark the fold. Now, because I'm working on a cheeky cut, the crotch will be the same length on the front and the back, which is about 7 inches or 18 centimeters in length from the top. But if you want to make the back wider, then you can start working your increases immediately after the stitch marker. Now, let's start working on our increases. For the next row, you'll chain 1 and you'll work 2 half double crochet stitches into that first stitch. You'll half double crochet all the way across. And work another set of 2 half double crochet stitches into that last stitch. You'll chain 1, you'll turn your work, and you'll repeat the last row of increasing into that first stitch and the last stitch until you've reached the total length of the front panel. And this should be about 13 more rows. Once you've completed all your back rows, you should have a completed piece that looks like this. And when you fold it in half where the stitch marker is, the front and back should be exactly the same length. But remember, you're free to add on more rows and adjust accordingly. This is the back side. This side will be our front side. And now we'll be making the sides. Now we'll grab our hook. And from that last stitch, go ahead and work 48 chains. Make sure not to chain too tight and work even chains. It should be stretchable like so. Now we'll pick up the front panel and work a slip stitch into that first stitch at the top. Chain 1 to secure and bind off. Now we'll repeat the same thing on the other side. From the front panel, we'll insert a hook into that last stitch. You'll drop a loop and work the same number of chains. Next, you'll pick up the back panel and insert your hook into that first stitch at the top and work a slip stitch. It is best to measure the width of the band when stretched out like this. You want to also get a tape measure with you when measuring. This measurement should be at least 2 inches or 5 centimeters bigger than your hips. If not, you'll continue to adjust until you get the perfect size. Now we'll be working on the triangle pattern. Only on the first stitch, we'll chain 5, yarn over. You'll insert your hook back into that same stitch. You'll drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You should have 2 loops on your hook. You'll yarn over, you'll skip 2, and you insert your hook into the next stitch. You'll drop a loop, you'll pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. And there you have your first triangle pattern. Now we'll be repeating the pattern. We'll chain 3. We'll yarn over, we'll insert a hook back into the same stitch, you'll drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, skip 2, insert your hook, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again, pull through 2, and the last one, you'll yarn over and pull through 2. Now let's do that a little bit faster. We'll chain 3, yarn over, insert a hook, drop a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, skip 2, drop a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now we'll be repeating this pattern all the way across in the round. Once you have 2 chains remaining, and this is how your triangle pattern should look like. Here I've just worked my 3 chains. I'll yarn over, You'll insert your hook into that same stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and once you have 2 loops on your hook, you'll insert your hook into that first loop that we made and work a slip stitch to close up the row. Now we'll be adding the elastic band. Place the elastic band behind your hook between the yarn and the loop and work a slip stitch to secure. Now you'll be working single crochet stitches into each stitch while working around the band. Now go ahead and work 3 single crochet stitches around the chain. And work 1 single crochet into the top of that stitch. Now you'll continue to work single crochet stitches around the chain and into the top stitch while working around the elastic band. Repeat this in the round, and I'll meet you back here about 2 inches or 5 centimeters before closing. Once you've almost completed your work around the band, you want to make sure that your elastic band is nice and taut. So you'll pull one end of the elastic band until you can feel the stretch along the side of the bikini band, like so. And then you'll do the same thing on the other end until you feel the stretch. Next, from the long end of the elastic band, you want to make one final stretch to spread the material throughout. And if you pull the band outwards, the band should still be the same width as before and it should retract back nicely. This would be a good time to try it on to ensure it fits perfectly. Now let's close up the elastic band. You can now snip off the elastic band while leaving some length for tying. Now you insert your hook back into the loop and you'll pull the rubber band and work up 2 knots. It should look something like this. Now you pull one of the ties across and continue working your single crochet stitches while working around the tail and the knot evenly across. And once you've reached that last stitch, go ahead and work a slip stitch into that first stitch to close up the round. Chain 1 to secure and bind off. So this is how your front should look, and your back should also be completely hidden. Go ahead and snip off the excess tail. Now the knot is completely hidden and no one would even know. Once you've completed your top band, let's go ahead and work on the back triangle pattern. So you'll turn your work to the back and insert your hook at the stitch marker. Now you'll take your yarn, you'll drop a loop, chain 1 to secure. Now from here we'll be working a decrease triangle pattern. So instead of starting with 5 chains, we'll only start with 3 chains. You'll yarn over, you'll skip 1 row, drop a loop and pull through 2. You'll yarn over, you'll skip 1 row, insert your hook, drop a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. So this will give you that decrease. Now from here, you'll just be repeating the triangle pattern that you already know. You'll chain 3, yarn over, insert your hook back into the same stitch. You'll drop a loop, pull through 2, yarn over. You'll skip 1 row, insert your hook, drop a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Now you'll do this on every other row, and I'll meet you back here once we've reached the top of the band. Once we've worked our way all the way up to the top of the band, we'll chain 3, yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, drop a loop, pull through 2. Now instead of skipping rows, we'll just work on each top stitch along the top of the band. So that is where you'll be inserting your hook. So you'll chain 3, you'll insert your hook back into the same stitch, and then you'll skip the chains and work into the next top stitch. Now you'll repeat this all the way across, and I'll meet you back here to close up this row. Now that I've worked my last triangle and I have 1 loop on my hook, I'll skip 1 row on the front panel and work a slip stitch. And this is how it should look like. Next, I'll slip stitch down 2 rows, working 3 slip stitches. Making sure that your last slip stitch is at the bottom of the 4th row. I'll chain 3, turn your work, yarn over. I'll insert my hook back into the top stitch to start my first triangle pattern. I'll yarn over, I'll skip the chains and insert my hook into the next stitch. I'll repeat this pattern all the way across, and I'll meet you back here about 3 triangles before closing up this row. So here I have 3 triangles before closing up this row, and I want to work a decrease triangle pattern. I'll chain 3, I'll insert my hook into the next stitch, I'll drop a loop, so I'll have 2 loops on my hook. I'll repeat the same thing on the other side, so I have 4 loops on my hook, and I'll do that one more time, so I have 6 loops on my hook. And then I'll yarn over, I'll pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. I'm showing you this on the second side because apparently I did not get to record it on the first side, in case you're wondering. Okay, let's continue. We'll chain 3, we'll turn our work, and just like how we did on the first row, we'll yarn over, we'll insert a hook into the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, drop a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now you have a really nice decrease at the back. You'll chain 3 and repeat the triangle pattern all the way to the top. Once you've reached the top of the band, you'll chain 3, yarn over, insert your hook into the last stitch until you have 2 loops on your hook. Now you'll skip 1 row and insert your hook into that 6th row from the top and work a slip stitch. Now we'll be adding the elastic band. Place the elastic band behind your hook, between the loop and your working yarn, and work a slip stitch to secure. Now you'll work 2 single crochet stitches into each row while working around the elastic band. And once you've reached the triangle pattern, you'll work 1 single crochet into the top stitch and 3 single crochets around the chain while working around any excess tail. So you'll continue working your single crochet while working around the band in the round, and I'll meet you back here on your second last triangle. Now, just like before, you'll want to pull the elastic band on one side until you can feel the stretch on the other end. And you'll do the same thing on the other side. Next, you'll stretch the leg opening to spread the material out evenly. Go ahead and snip off the remaining elastic band. Now we'll tie 2 knots. We'll pick up our hook. And continue working our single crochet stitches into each chain and stitch while working around the excess tail. Slip stitch into the first stitch to close the round. Chain 1 to secure and bind off. Go ahead and snip off any excess tail. The knot at the back should be completely invisible, and this is how your finished leg opening should look like. Now go ahead and repeat the entire process again on the other side. And there you have it, your finished crochet bikini bottom. A good crochet bottom should look bunched up like this. This is an indication that it has a good stretch and support. I hope this tutorial was helpful in guiding you throughout the process of adjusting and customizing your very own bikini bottom. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I would love to see you at my next video. Bye for now!